there!
Well, hello!
What's up, you guys? Ready to go to the Windjammer?
Babe, we're not on our cruise anymore.
No.
You need to let it go. We no longer need to drink out of those cups.
Never.
You need to take off your medal you won at the competition. I will say this balcony view does compete with our old balcony view from the cruise.
I know, it's pretty good.
You guys, I'm laughing so hard.
Well, I think I'm gonna go hit the sun deck.
We're
What do you think?
water slides, which we need to go do the flow rider, zip line.
Oh, alright, you know what? We didn't have a chance to do that. I'm just surprised you're not wearing any sunglasses. It's bright out here.
Take them off. Oh my gosh, if any of you have me new to our channel or like, what are these people talking about? We just got off of a cruise yesterday and we had the time of our lives.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. We did a Royal Caribbean. Our ship was Symphony of the Seas cruise and we loved every minute of it. So much so, we have received so many questions from you guys asking like hundreds and hundreds. And
Tons of questions.
So we thought it would be really fun to do a cruise Q&A and hopefully answer the majority of them. So for the Q&A, we need our cruise director, Jared.
Someone who's at least acclimated in some way.
Jared should be that cruise activity director, I should say, the cruise hype man, because if you guys watched our videos, you would have seen how excited he was.
It's hard not to be excited on a cruise. There's so much to do.
It really
Seriously, so much to do.
Before we get into the question, you guys, we highly recommend taking a cruise. Like, I had forgotten how much fun I had on a cruise. My first one,
so much fun.
My first one was 6 years ago. Jared's been on like, what, 7 or 8?
Yeah.
So he's kind of the expert. A lot of you guys have asked questions here on YouTube, but also over on Instagram, so I have a list. Also, before we jump into this, we should mention this video is not sponsored by Royal Caribbean. This is just our honest feedback on our experience on cruises so far. So I think maybe we'll start with booking your cruise first and then get into the ship itself. So a lot of you guys asked, how did you book your cruise? Did you use a travel agent? Did you do it yourself? So what we did is we actually booked directly through RoyalCaribbean.com.
Yes, they had perks going on, so it's worth it to go through that.
I feel like they always have some type of sell or perk, as Jared mentioned, on more credit, etc. Also, just a tip, if you book earlier in advance, you can usually get a better deal than if you wait last minute.
Way better.
And also a lot of cruises sell out, especially right now. Another question we got is, what cruise did we do? So as we mentioned, we booked through Royal Caribbean. Our ship was Symphony of the Seas, and we did the Western Caribbean 7-night cruise.
Yes, and we went to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, Bahamas. Then we had a sea day. Then we went to Cozumel, Mexico. Then Roatan, Honduras. Then to Costa Maya, Mexico. Then we had another sea day. Then we were home. That
was another question we get, is how long does it take to get to the different places you go? It just depends where you're going. Sometimes there's one sea day in between, sometimes there's no sea days, sometimes you might have 2 sea days, so it just totally depends on the crew you take.
And speaking of sea days, a lot of you guys asked, do you get bored on the ship and do you feel trapped? The answer to that is no. There are so many things to do on these Royal Caribbean ships. They are like planets. They are massive.
They are huge. There's something to do. There's actually an activities director of the ship. Royal Caribbean has done an awesome job with their app, and they have literally something planned almost every hour, especially the at sea days. There's like, we couldn't even do all of it. We didn't do everything we wanted to do.
We couldn't.
Ice rink, movies, shows, comedy shows,
zip line, rock climbing, flow rider. There are so many things to do.
Talking about being entertained on the ship, you guys, the first day you get on the ship, you can get on, make different reservations, because shows do book up pretty quickly. So we highly recommend, as soon as you get on that ship and are able to, make reservations for all the shows you want to see. Now, maybe you decide not to show up for one. That's not a big deal. They don't charge you or anything like that, but at least you'll have it reserved, because there are so many fun things and shows and things to do on this ship.
One of the shows that we highly recommend is called Hyro. It is a water show. If you can book it in advance, do it. We had to wait list. Luckily we got in, but there was a ton of people that weren't able to get in.
Yes, awesome. They even have musicals, they have stand-up comedy, they offer so many different things. It's fun. It's just a blast. I mean, if you watch our past week's videos, you will see a ton of them in there to get a good idea, but yes, you will never get bored. Or if you just want to go sit by the pool, relax, sit on your balcony, wherever you want, like, there's always something.
You can go eat at the buffet, baby. Yes. Which brings us to our next question. What all is included in the cruise?
Yes, this totally depends. Maybe we'll start with the type of room we chose. So there are interior rooms, and then there are balcony rooms, and then there are also suites. We chose a balcony and it was incredible. That was another question we got. Is a balcony worth it? In our opinion, yes. Oh my gosh.
It is so much better. So I've done, like Brittany said, like 7 or 8 cruises, I can't remember. But this was my first time with a balcony and I don't think I could ever go back.
Just sitting out there, that alone in it, I mean, we talked about this on the cruise, it made it worth it. Watching the sunsets, the sunrises, just waking up, being able to go out and sit on the balcony, it was incredible.
But not only that, after coming back from like an excursion of some sort, be able to take your wet, sandy clothes outside to dry and like shake off was just awesome.
Just makes it feel like not so confined. Because that was another question, is do you feel so confined and trapped on the cruise ship? I will admit, when I was in the interior room, I did feel a bit claustrophobic because they are smaller.
Yes.
Not to say I didn't love it or anything, but the balcony did make a big difference. So I will say, if you do tend to get claustrophobic, I probably would not choose an interior room.
Yeah, but if that's your only option, I still highly recommend you go on the cruise.
I will say also, when you're going to look for what cruise, some cruises, the balconies are way pricier than others. So take a look at different cruises. Some can be like half the price. We were just looking at another one. Yes, and one cruise, same amount of days, it was like half the price for whatever reason. So if you see one that's super pricey, maybe look around and see if you can find one for a better deal.
Now, also talking about balconies, you want to get one not as close to the top deck, because it's louder up there, because that's where the pools are, that's where everyone's out having fun. So you wanna get a little bit lower actually.
Yeah, so we were on deck 12. I feel like our position was perfect. We were on deck 12 near the aft, the back of the ship.
Yes.
We were right by the buffet. We were right by a ton of things that were super convenient. So I would recommend right around that area. And that was another question. Can you hear like all your neighbors? Is it loud? I couldn't hear anyone in another room the entire time.
Yeah, the entire time.
Sometimes when you're outside on your balcony, you can hear other people, but when you're in your room with the door shut, you hear nothing.
Nothing. And one last thing with the balcony, you can actually choose the room you get with Royal Caribbean. We did do that.
Yes.
So you can choose a balcony and that's like a lower price, or you can choose the exact room that you want to be in. That way there's no surprises whatsoever, and that's what we decided to go with.
Yeah, because we definitely wanted an ocean balcony, not an interior balcony looking into the ship, which I'm sure they can be great, but we just really wanted the ocean view.
Yes.
So if you want that, make sure you choose that option. Now let's jump to what's included. Now this is with Royal Caribbean. All different cruise lines include different things, so you'll just need to look up what's included with whichever one you decide to go with. So let's start with the food, because I think that's one of the biggest questions we got, is what's included with the food. So how the food works, there's something called main dining, and that's the dining room that you guys get to always film. It's a little fancier.
So fancy.
And it's awesome. You have a standing reservation. There's 2 dining times, and this is something I forgot about. There's an early dining time at 5:30, and then there's one at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Those are the only 2 you can choose from. And make sure you reserve a dining time when booking, because they fill up fast.
In fact, ours did fill up. We ended up having to go with the 5:30 p.m., but here's a little tip. When you first board the ship, go directly to the dining hall and speak with the manager there and ask them if you can switch to the later time.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, like we were, you can get that later time.
And we also were able to get our own table just for 2, which was really nice. I'm not quite sure how it works with all the different COVID measures right now, if they're even seating people together. I know back in the day, they definitely would seat people together. So I'm not quite sure how that works right now, but you can request a seat change if you'd like. I know that is one thing you can do. So everything in the main dining room is included, and it's all you can eat, which is incredible.
And they have incredible menu options.
Yes, and what's really nice, in the app, it shows you exactly what's on the menu for that day, so you always know what's coming up, and you can look over that whenever you want.
And we highly recommend that you guys try everything that you want, because you will not regret it.
Yeah, that's the awesome thing about cruises. They actually encourage you to try things.
Yes.
Like you can have 2 main dishes, you can have 2 appetizers, 2 desserts.
You guys probably saw we had like 4 appetizers, 2 entrees, 3 desserts. Like we went all out.
That's a big part and draw for the cruise, at least for us. We love trying different food like that. So that's the main dining option. Also, kind of going along those lines, there is a slight dress code for that. I think it's gotten a lot less formal than it used to be.
Definitely.
But just look over their guidelines for dress codes there. The next dining option that's included is called the Windjammer, and it is a buffet. So kind of think like Vegas style buffet. They have so many options.
So many options.
I saw quite a few questions. Do they cater to certain dietary needs? Yes, they
100%.
definitely do. They have so many options you can choose from. It's unbelievable. And that is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You don't need a reservation. You can go there whenever you want. No dress code for that.
Yeah, seriously, it's perfect. And the menu options there change every single day for every type of meal.
It's mind-blowing, guys.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. The third thing that's included there are some cafes throughout the ship that are included as well. So there's a pizza place. You can get pizza almost 24 hours a day whenever you want. Eat as much as you want.
Yeah.
There's another cafe that has like sandwiches, salads, things like that. You can eat as much as you want of that.
You get unlimited frozen yogurt or ice cream.
There's a hot dog stand. You can have hot dogs whenever you want. There's a taco place. You have tacos whenever you want. It varies from ship to ship, but there are always those like always on the go type places that are included, which is really nice. The fourth option for dining are the specialty restaurants. And to be honest, you guys, we did not eat at one specialty restaurant on this past cruise because we just love the food that's included. But I think in the future, we probably will check those out just to see what it's about, but they do come at a charge. The fifth dining thing is room service.
Yeah!
And room service is included as well. You can order whatever you want. We actually never used it, which is kind of blows my mind.
I know.
I'm surprised we didn't.
I think we had so much fun just going out to dinner though.
Yeah, we love getting dressed up a little bit, going out to dinner. We love getting our late night pizzas. You guys, we didn't video that, but we went out many times late at night and grabbed some slices of pizzas. Yeah, it was bad, but it was so fun. So that is the other option.
Now, another question we got is what about the soda? What about drinks?
Yes.
So they have different types of drink packages that you get. One for soda, one for alcohol, and if you're just gonna do nothing.
Yep, so if you do nothing, then you get water and lemonade and some juices at your meals.
And hot chocolate and coffee.
And hot chocolate and coffee, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, we did the soda package, which you may see these special cups. They work with their Coca-Cola freestanding machine, so you can get soda whenever you want on tap.
It was awesome.
It is awesome. If you're a big soda drinker, we would encourage that. It does come at a pretty steep price, we will say that, so you need to kind of weigh your options there, but when you go to book your cruise, you pick your drink options.
And if you book your cruise early enough in advance, you can actually get 30% off of all of those packages, which is huge.
Yeah, the more you can book right when you're booking your cruise, you guys, you will get rewarded and better discount.
Now, another question we got a ton of was, how is Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of hit and miss. Here's the thing, if you're uploading YouTube videos, it's not that great. So me uploading the video here at our house, it takes about 6 minutes to upload.
Yeah.
On board the ship, it would take anywhere from like 3 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not good for uploading things, but as far as like streaming videos for like Netflix or Hulu or anything like that, it's perfect.
And it kind of just depends where you're at in the world too. I feel like sometimes as we were getting closer to land, it would get a little bit better and stronger, but when you're at sea days, it wasn't the best.
Yes.
Now with Royal Caribbean, you do have to purchase Wi-Fi, so we had to purchase a pass for Jared and his computer. We also purchased a second one for my phone so I can upload stories and things like that. But if you don't need that, don't purchase it and you'll be just fine. Off the grid, like that sounds amazing.
It honestly is heaven off the grid.
Yeah. The next topic, should we talk excursions?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, excursions are so much fun. That is when you go to ports, you choose what you want to do there. Now, you don't have to book anything. And a lot of the ports we went to, there were a ton of options, free options, just right when you got off the boat. But if you're someone that likes to plan ahead, then definitely go ahead, booking those in advance.
And if you guys book in advance, you do get that 30% off discount, which is massive on some of these excursions. Like us doing the dolphin tour, we would have saved a ton more money had we booked it in advance.
That's so true. And also the other big perk to booking an excursion through the ship is they will wait for you. Say if you were late or anything like that, they will wait for you. If you don't book it through the ship, and you don't make it back on time, sayonara.
Exactly.
You'll have to figure that out on your own. So that is definitely a risk. You guys saw we did some excursions just on our own, and that is a risk we took, but we felt comfortable enough. We've done this that we felt okay doing that.
Now, if you guys decide to book something outside of the ship, we definitely recommend just doing something right at port. There's tons of people there, super easy. For example, we did that in Honduras.
Yeah.
Literally right when you walk off the boat, there are so many different options to choose from.
They're trying to sell you like, hey, we'll do snorkeling, we'll do a zip line tour. There's so many companies companies right there. I think they're all pretty credible from what I can tell. They do it every single day. So that's why we decided to do that in Honduras, and it turned out amazing.
We actually ended up getting a better deal than had we gone through the ship because we weren't gonna be packed with a huge group of people. We had our own private boat and it was awesome.
It was incredible.
Speaking of snorkeling, if you guys like snorkeling, we highly recommend that you guys bring your own stuff. That way you're not renting it at ports when you arrive because you can go anywhere you want at your own leisure.
Yes, and a lot of you asked what snorkeling gear do we have and recommend. We will put a link for it down below on Amazon. We have used this for years and it's lasted. It's great quality.
I've had mine since 2015.
Yeah, we've had it a long time and we absolutely love it.
Now, speaking of excursions, a lot of you guys ask how much time do you get at each port?
Yes.
So it usually varies from port to port and the ship will let you know every day, but typically it's about 7:30 a.m. is when you arrive and 4:30 is when you depart.
Yeah, so you have a good chunk of time to get things done. Now, there is something called ship time because you have to remember, you're going from country to country, time zones change, things like that.
Yeah.
So they always go off of ship time. So on the app and everywhere, it says what the ship time is. They will remind you, but just keep that in mind, especially as you're out on excursions and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's ship time, not the local time of the country you're
For example, in Honduras, the ship time is 2 hours ahead. So had we left at 2:30, it would actually be 4:30 p.m. ship time. We would have missed the boat.
Yes, so keep that in time, super, super important.
Now, another question that we got along with this is, do you guys ever venture outside of the cruise ports? Yes, we do. In fact, we do every single time.
Yeah.
The only time that we didn't was in Costa Maya. We wanted to do the dolphin tour and it ended up working out perfectly because in Costa Maya, it's a little bit more undeveloped.
Feel free, go back and watch our videos. You can see what we did at every single port. You can also just do a lot of Google searching. If you're not taking our exact cruise, you can kind of see what the best things are to do at the ports that you're going to.
I'll even put a link for every single video in the description below for you guys to check out.
Really quick, I'm just gonna touch over this quickly. Packing, what to bring on a cruise for first time cruisers. We actually did a full in-depth packing haul. We will link down below. A lot of you asked, is there anything you wish you would have brought that you didn't bring? There was one thing we left out of that packing video, and that is power strips. So it's more plugs. There's only so many plugs in your cruise room, so we kind of had to finagle stuff around a little bit. But if we would have brought extra power strips, we could have plugged in multiple devices at once. So that is definitely something we will be taking next time more of. Another question we got is, what length of cruise do you recommend? Okay, so we did the 7-night, basically 8-day cruise.
It was amazing.
I
wish it was longer.
We wish it was longer. I feel like, because there are like 3 to 4 day cruises, which could be totally fun. I think it just depends on your price point, what you're comfortable with spending,
how much free time you have. So I've actually done a 3-day cruise and it was still a ton of fun. It was shorter, obviously, but it was still a blast.
Yes, and you guys, speaking of shorter cruises, I mean, we live here right in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So we don't have to pay for flights or anything like that if we take cruises right out of here. So we are planning on doing some short kind of weekend cruises, and I'm really excited to share those. So you guys can kind of see how we enjoy those, but those, I think they're gonna be awesome.
Now, a question we got a ton of are tips. Tipping. How do you tip your servers? Do you tip them? How much do you tip them?
Yes, not only servers, but the people that help with your stateroom as well. So, Royal Caribbean, there's a few options you can choose from. You can either tip in advance. So when you book your cruise, you can choose tipping in advance, and they basically just charge you per day an amount. I think it's around $14.
I think it's $14.50 to be exact.
And that should cover everything from your waiters to those helping out with your stateroom, things like that, and it automatically applies so that way you don't have to worry about it. You can research, if you don't want to do that, you can research and kind of see how much the standard is when it comes to tipping. We did the tipping in advance because we didn't want to deal with that. So totally up to you. Other cruise lines may work different, so just kind of Google it and see how those work. Another common question is, do you feel the boat move? So at least on this Royal Caribbean ship, the ships are huge, you guys. They are made to withstand huge storms, things like that. There was only one day that we could feel it swaying a little bit, but those of you that have followed us for a while know I get super seasick on boats, and I did not get seasick whatsoever.
Which was awesome. Yes,
it's awesome, but just in case, bring medicine. I brought medicine in case, but so far with my 2 cruises, I have not gotten seasick. I did get quite a few questions about links to different outfits, swimsuits in particularly, so I will put those down below. Also, if you're not following us over on Instagram, make sure you are. I have a highlight bubble there called Britt's Faves, and I will be saving a lot of the links there as well. Also, a lot of questions about our merchandise. We will put our website here. You can go check that out. We have so many different fun things to choose from. So you guys, I think we covered the majority of the questions. If we missed your question, drop it down below. We will try and go through comments and answer any more. But seriously, we had the best time ever.
Oh, awesome. Seriously, so much fun that we're going to be doing it again. We do not know when, but we have discussed, like we said yesterday, about doing a group cruise.
How fun would that be? And also maybe doing a little giveaway, because we just love you guys so much. So I think we're gonna go ahead, close out today's video. We're gonna go spend some time with little Mr. Finn, go out on a walk. But we love you all so much. Thanks so much again for all the sweet messages on the cruise. We're glad you guys enjoyed the cruise with us. And with that, we will see you all tomorrow.
See you guys, love you. Bye.